Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. So this time we got Thor: Love and Thunder. Just watched it yesterday. So first, I want to talk about what all the critics and all the YouTube people who got to see the movie first have been saying about the movie. That this is the best Marvel movie ever. This is the best Thor movie. This movie was so good. It was so fun. Oh my god! Like they did this movie so well. Like wow, I can't believe it. How good this movie was. Alright, look. First things first, I don't really believe a single word that the critics say. And then when it comes to the YouTube personality people who got to see the movie first, some of them I do believe because they tell the truth. Most of them are pretty biased, so I don't really trust what they say either. But is it the best Marvel movie? No, not even close. And the range is actually pretty far, right? It's not even close. Is it the best Thor movie? Also, no. I think Ragnarok. No, not I think it is. Ragnarok is better than this movie, and some parts of me wants to say that Thor 1 was actually also better than this movie, but because of certain things in this movie, I couldn't really say it. But I'm a kind of in consideration of saying that. But I'll get into that later more. But why I think that. So yeah, I didn't really think this was a great movie. There were plus, but for the most part, I think this was not a great movie actually. So yeah, let me start with that. The plus. First things first, CGI was pretty good. Effects was pretty good. There was like one or two moments where like it kind of seemed off, but for everything else, it was really good. The way all the shots was great. Everything they did was pretty good. Also, like towards the end of the movie, you'll have this like black and white scene between Gore and Thor. Like to this place where Gore is actually at, and all that black and white scene. I would say it was actually done pretty well. And then Jane Foster's arc, I really liked it, and it was done pretty good because they followed her arc exactly like in the comics. They followed it exactly how it is, which proves more if they just follow a character's arc in a movie exactly like in the comics, it would actually turn out pretty well. So her arc in this movie is proof of that. Because nowadays Marvel just don't really follow the comics anymore. They just change things up, and then it does not work out. It ends up being bad. But I like that they actually follow Jane's story exactly like in the comics. So because of that, it turned out pretty well. And also, I know because of all the talks about like the MCU becoming MCU in Phase 4, like a lot of people have been saying that, and I don't really blame them to be honest. But in this movie, in no point that they actually made Jane Foster look like superior to Thor, or like bigger than him, or even like like the center of attention. I don't think they did that. Also, she's not really here to become Thor's replacement. Like I said, they followed her arc in the comics. They didn't really change her to be like to be more superior than Thor. So I don't think people need to worry about that because y'all actually you will like Jane's story in the movie. I guarantee it. And then Christian Bale as Gore just which is pretty good. Like he killed that role, to be honest. And even though I didn't really like the design of Gore in the first place because they didn't really make it look comic accurate. But once I see people say like you don't really hire Christian Bale if to cover his face in CGI, but I don't really think they need to cover his face fully in CGI because like you could actually do some light CGI and you could actually still see the acting behind it. But seeing his portrayal in the movie, I'm like, you know what, y'all are right. I agree with y'all. They should not have completely CGI his face because his acting and everything was just phenomenal. And I still think they should have done something to make him more comic accurate as possible. Even though they didn't really want to do anything with his face, they could have added, all the tendrils and maybe the scarf that he was wearing was white, but they could have made it black to make it like comic accurate. So they didn't really have to CGI his face, but they could have added stuff to make it look comic accurate. That would have been fine. But seeing how he portrayed it, yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how he actually turned out to be. So that was the only good part. Not even kidding, to be honest. And now for the bad part. Um, I don't even know where to start. Like, firstly, Thor. Nah, man, no one's gonna like this Thor. I can guarantee you that. Like, I don't know why. What the hell have they turned him into? This is a parody Thor, y'all. Like the mighty Thor, I would say is dead. This is parody Thor. Like, also, yeah. Why the reason I said that I might consider putting Thor one above this movie is because this movie he didn't really have his own arc in the movie. You know, like his own like character development kind of thing. Like, he didn't really have his own arc. Like, it was different with the other Thor movies, and like, you look at Thor one, which I've been talking about, is he had his own arc. Like he was this arrogant god, he got banished, and then you saw his basically, the way he had to overcome that and become worthy again. So it was his arc. But in this movie, he was just, basically just one of the gods Gore have had to face. That's it. That was all Thor in this movie. He's just one of the gods that Gore was facing, and the only one who kind of fought back. So that's it. That's all Thor was in this movie, right? So, and also they keep making him like you can't even take him as serious anymore. Like he's cracking jokes almost every time he speaks. Like, what the hell? Because that's like one of the few things I didn't really like in Ragnarok. But at least in Ragnarok, he didn't really did that much. He knew when to be serious. But in this movie, all he was just this comedic character from start to end. So just no. No. So I'm not really sure people would like him, especially comic fans. I don't think comic fans would like him even a little bit, because you saw, Thor was a pretty serious character in the comics, but right now they're making him like more towards the comedy side, a comedy Thor rather than the mighty Thor. But yeah, yeah. Also, speaking of the comedy, like it was too much in this movie, really, to the point that you can't even take the scene seriously as it's supposed to be because of the comedy, because every time, especially if Thor is involved, something comedic will happen. So when something, like that should give you some kind of emotional impact, you just can't feel anything because you're like, something comedic is going to come up, so you can't really feel it. Even when someone in this movie eventually, I don't want to say it, but you're supposed to feel something at that moment, and I don't really feel anything, because they just making jokes each time, to the point that you can't even take this movie as serious as it's supposed to be, except when Gore is in the scene. I mean, in the movie, he was the only serious thing about the movie, and I'm happy that they did not make Gore crack jokes, because if they did that, nah, man, I would have said I'm out. So that's a good thing they did not make of Gore like a comedic character, cracking jokes and everything. So they actually made him pretty serious character. But that's just like the thing I didn't like about the movie. Like, just too much comedy. Even like I said, Thor Ragnarok, even though it had comedy bits, which I don't really like because they kind of like did forced comedy, but it knew when to be serious. Thor Ragnarok, it knew when to be serious. The times that you're supposed to be serious, it was serious. Comedy was there. Sometimes it was forced, but not really in all the moments that it was supposed to be serious. But in this movie, even in the moments that you're supposed to be serious, you take it as a comedy scene. They just put in a joke in there and just basically, ruin the serious moment. So that's the, the bad thing about this movie. What else? Valkyrie. So Valkyrie was like, all right. I guess she was just there. And she's a terrible ruler, I would say. Queen. I have no idea why they even call her a king. Seriously, I have no idea what. Did someone fail English or something? even even Hela was queen of Asgard. Like when she wanted to be queen. In Ragnarok, she said, "Bow before your queen." But I have no idea why they even call Valkyrie king. Like, what? And also, I'm wondering what was supposed to be the scene that mentioned her bisexuality. You know, I have no idea. Is it supposed to be the scene? Well, I don't want to spoil it, but there was this scene in the city of the gods where the Zeus and around him there was this, I don't know what you call them, but there were just like all these women surrounding Zeus, and before leaving the place, Valkyrie kind of kissed one of the girls in their hand. And is that supposed to mean it? Because I have no idea. Because I was just wondering what was the scene that they said it was gonna mention her bisexuality. Like they didn't really talk. She didn't really talk about it like directly. So I feel like was that supposed to be it? So yeah, Valkyrie is a terrible ruler of Asgard, to be honest. Because even in the first place, I didn't really agree in Endgame that Thor actually gave her the key to become the ruler of Asgard, and I didn't really think she did a great job, to be honest. And Asgard is kind of terrible now that it's kind of allowing humans to be on Asgard now. So like Asgard is no longer Asgard, man. Right now, Asgard is like a tourist attraction now. Like it's just like any other place on Earth, basically. That and also talking about the gods, Zeus, man, Zeus. I don't want to go too far and say that they ruined Zeus, but you just same thing. You can't take him seriously at all. As also, they made him overly a comedic character to the point, like I said, you cannot take him serious at all. Because I'm trying to say like what I could say without giving spoilers. All right, you know what? Screw it. He got defeated by Thor pretty easily, really easily, and even before that, I'm like, this guy is supposed to be the leader of the gods. Are you serious? And I can't even see him getting revenge at Thor. Like, I don't think I could ever see Zeus seriously anymore because they made him a laughing stock for basically for people to laugh at. Like, I could not take him serious at all. So I would say pretty much Zeus was not really a great character in the movie. Uh, what else? Yeah, I think that's basically it. Also, yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about Gore. All right, Gore. So I did say I liked Christian Bale portrayal in the movie, but what I did not like is how less screen time he had. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but he had really less screen time. About 40 minutes, I would say that's it. The movie was 2 hours, and he only had like 40 minutes of screen time. That was terrible. But like I said, at least they did not make him crack jokes or something. But I would have liked how if they actually gave him more screen time. But I would say overall they kind of ruined Gore because the only thing good about Gore is the way they Christian Bale portrayed the character and how they made him look scary and everything. But that's it basically. There was nothing more you could actually say was good about Gore because I would say they basically ruined him in the movie because not only he had a short screen time, he didn't really, we didn't see any god bombs in the movie, and also another spoiler, but I don't want to say it. So I pretty much I would say Gore is ruined. Like the only great thing about Gore is just how they made him be in the movie, and also Christian Bale's portrayal. That's the only thing good about Gore in the movie, basically. So apart from that, our Guardians, if you're expecting the Guardians to have a longer role in the movie, don't because they kind of appear only in like the first 20 minutes of the movie, and that too we don't really see them in action. Like we only saw them like in action in like one scene, but that's it. And the next scene that they were also involved, we see Thor like fighting in a fight scene, but that fight scene had absolutely no connection to anything going on in the movie. It was just a fight scene thrown in there to make Thor look badass, but that's it. And the Guardians weren't even fighting in that scene, they were just there. So they were only there for like 20 minutes of the movie, so that's it. So yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to say. So in total, I don't think this was a great movie at all. So also there are two post credit scenes. One post credit scene is like for the future. One is like also comic accurate. It's for a certain character in the movie. That was the end one. The mid one was actually like I said, it was for the future. We saw a new character, which I don't think he's being played by the actor who everyone wanted to play, because I don't want to say the character, but he's involved. Like, we actually see two characters. One is the character that we already seen in this movie, and then one is the new character. So these two, I mean, the rumored actor who was supposed to play that role was in another movie with the actor who played the other character who was already in the movie. So I personally would have loved to see this actor play this character, but the actor who they eventually got to play the role, I have no idea who he is. I don't think I've ever seen him before, and I'm not really sure if he's a great fit for the role. I mean, but still, we haven't really seen anything, so we don't really know. But so far, I don't know. Because yeah, like I said, and I shouldn't really expect too much, but I'm not really sure how that's gonna go. The second scene was, yeah, it was cool thing, but I think you could skip it if you want to. But so all right, I think I covered everything so far in the movie. I don't think I left anything out, but yeah, in total, I don't think it was a great movie at all. So if you just want to watch this movie for like comedy, then yeah, you could enjoy it. If you want to watch an action comedy, you don't really care about anything else, then yeah, you would find this movie really good. But if you want to see the movie for the movie, you want to see how good the movie is, characters, everything, how they're done. So then yes, you would actually like the movie. But apart from that, I don't really see any other reason apart from the three things that I said in the beginning. So yeah, we did see a lot of characters return. We saw Darcy, who returned after the last time we saw her in WandaVision. Dr. Selvig, but that was only like a picture I think we saw of him. And then Daryl. Daryl is in this movie too. If y'all don't know Daryl, go watch Team Thor. Team Thor and Team Daryl. That was pretty funny. So they kind of made that officially canon. Because he was in the movie, he was kind of in charge of certain things in Asgard. And then we saw Lady Sif, and then we had Heimdall's son in this movie too. So yeah, he kind of had the same powers as Heimdall, so but obviously. And then we had Gore's daughter. He was supposed to have a son, but they changed it to daughter. So, but that's not really a big issue. So, yeah, I think that's it. So, yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to drag this any longer. So, yeah, that's it. So, thank you very much for watching this review. So, that's basically just like I'm kind of speechless too, because I wanted this movie to be pretty good, because Thor's the only character so far to get a fourth movie, and then they ended up making something like this. Like, but yeah. Anyways, I'm just trying to think. Is there anything that I left out? Yeah, like the gods. I forgot to speak about the gods too. The gods didn't really make sense too much, if you ask me. Like some of the gods don't really make sense. Like, so we didn't really go to Olympus, but this was basically it was called Omnipotent City. It was like the city of the gods. Like all the gods were there, and like I said, the leader was basically a laughing stock, Zeus. Uh, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say. Excuse the awkward silence while I think if I left anything out. Yeah, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. Oh yeah, also the Necro Sword. Yeah, not a lot of stuff to say about it, but I think people would be kind of disappointed, especially comic fans, with what happened with the Necro Sword. And I don't think we're getting no anytime soon, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure that's it. So I have nothing else to say. So overall, I'm not really sure how much I would rate the movie, but I don't think this was a great movie. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say it. Thor 1 was better. Whatever. At least he had his own arc rather than just being one of the person in Gore's way in the movie. Uh, yeah, overall not a great movie. So, anyways, yeah, that's it. Enough. I keep dragging this. Yeah, thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you find this useful before you watch the movie. I hope you enjoy it, but I don't think you will. So, but yeah. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this review. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you like this review. So, I'm still not satisfied because how they made the movie. Alright, that's why I'm like this. Yeah. Alright, whatever. So thank you for watching. See you next time. I'll see you later. Goodbye.